battlefield you wanted, what battlefield would you want?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Ideally, one with not very much cover to hide behind. Yes, I know it's bad for our backline, but that means that we can burst their backline really quickly. We're discussing tactics.
I am gonna have another look at my spells.
My thought is you drop, for example, your chain lightning from your staff onto their backline, and we just try and nuke out one or two members of their party.
Minton, question for you.
I am not burning the chain lightning from my staff for that. I don't have spells of that level, so I can't recharge it.
Oh, right, it's a one-time spell thing. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I need to use a spell slot of that level to recharge the staff. So no.
So you might not be able to use your staff. Oh god, you have feeble mind.
Minton.
Oh god,
Yes.
it has a range of 210.
Silent image. The spell creates the visual illusion of an object, creature, or force. Keyword here is force, such as, I imagine, wind, fog, fire. These are all things that would be classified as a force, correct? As visualized by you.
What's this, sir?
Silent image.
Mm-hmm.
Creates the visual illusion of an object, creature, or force as visualized by you.
Yeah.
Would something like fire and fog come into that? As a visual illusion of a force.
What's this? This is a silent image.
Yep. It doesn't create sound, smell, texture, or temperature.
Yeah, I'd say it could probably make.
So if I was to cause a fog through the entire battlefield, as presuming I can target enough squares, my allies know it's an illusion. My enemies do not know it's an illusion. My enemies just think they have a way of seeing through it. Until they disbelieve it, which I imagine because they're constantly interacting with it, they would get the save immediately, to be fair. Would that give us, like, what's the word? Not displacement. Let's look at what Blink does for me. Concealment. Would that give some of our members concealment if they failed the save? Because it's hard for the enemies to see through fog or fire.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. I got a few creative ways I can use silent image. I'm probably not going to go anywhere near the fight with my scimitar. I have too many spells to cast. Too many buffing spells. Like, I want to cast Vanish on Toby again. I want to cast Cat's Grace on Gorthon. I want to cast Blink on myself.
I think we're going to have to try and put as much damage downrange into their backline as quickly as possible. Ideally, if I can get a good initiative roll, who do you want me to charge on the first round? Do you want to charge a squishy or their barbarian?
I would say go for a squishy, just because their barb's going to be way less powerful once he's lost his buddy.
Also, I would say in this one, you'd also know you're fighting in a special arena rather than a normal arena.
Oh shit, I know what the special arena is.
This
Good
is
for
the
you.
one which has lots of lakes in it.
Wait, what?
Lots of lakes.
There are large bodies of water, basically. So it's similar to if you've ever been in an estuary and you've seen like sandbars.
Right, Hobbit, if they seem to have like a human wizard or a human sorcerer, you open up with a 4-round action on them. Just nuke them out of the fight. Because holy shit, that favoured enemy. Vincent, is spells like Feeble Mind allowed?
What does it do?
That's the one that drops your int and charisma to 2.
Yeah,
So
this is
it's a
something
1.
actually. What rules are the two teams agreeing on?
We have to be allowed to cast spells. I think retire when bloody needs to be a rule.
Feeble. I can ping it if you want. Because I have that.
That is what Feeble Mind does.
Are pets, companions / other NPCs allowed?
So what rules are you requesting? Because that'll change what.
I think the only rule we need to request off the top of my head is retire when bloody.
We also need spells. That's a mandatory requirement.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to be able to cast freely. And I want retire when bloody.
If need be, we can negotiate which spells aren't allowed.
Because I don't think anyone wants their pet wizard hit with a Feeble Mind.
What about when they bring in their pet dragon?
That's some of the conjuration. Is that allowed or not?
I'm trying to think.
I'd like player companions, because then Cerule can join the fight, but it's not the end of the world if not.
And do we want to ask for a buffing time before the fight?
I'd like that. I don't know if...
I mean, I'll need to cast Mage Armor. I'm not going in there without it. Other than that, I don't really have that many buffing spells.
Should we say 6 seconds pre-buff?
Yeah.
When the fight starts, because then there's no surprise rounds and whatnot like that.
When no one's also allowed to move in that round.
Yeah.
The only thing we can do is buff up. Which means, do you have any other buffs you want to cast, no? Aside from Mage Armor?
Maybe Elemental Body.
Because unless we reckon they're going to go invisible or fly, and I'd rather hold on to my fly, I can cast Mage Armor on you.
I can cast Bear's Endurance on somebody as well.
I would appreciate that, but you might need it more for the extra health to keep you in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not say no to having that cast on me. Because that does actually free me up on my first round to cast Mage Armor on no.
So let me get this straight. Agreements. Magic allowed. 6 second 1 round buffing turn when no one's allowed to move. This includes magic and whatever other stims that someone so has. Potions and whatnot. Companions allowed or no?
I want to allow... I'm going to say if you want to rule, then we need to allow companions.
We'll put companions forward, but we're willing to drop it if need be.
And before we go in here, what is our tactics for our first round? Like, who do we want to charge? Who do we want Kai to try and get shaken in the first round? I charge and I hit. Whoever I hit is shaken for 5 rounds.
What's the shaking thing again?
-2 on pretty much everything.
Solid, go for the frontliner. Yeah, shake the frontliner. That's fine.
Okay. I think. And who do we want to burst out of the fight?
Their squishiest target. The moment we get an advantage over 5 to 6.
Yeah, it's compounds. No, you're definitely right. You wanna take out their support guys first. It's always the best strat.
Okay.
Remove
And for Kai spells, ideally I want Bear's Endurance and Bull Strength. I can self-cast Bulls when I rage. I can Mage Armor No. However, I would like to get Bull Strength and Bear's Endurance off. I don't know if Mint will allow me to do that in the same round. Let me check how the ability works.
I think you can. I'd say let No Mage Arm himself. You buff yourself. I'll buff Golthon.
I'll buff me again.
Golthon can buff himself. Toby can eat. Joy can, if she can buff something.
Would it be good at Minton, if Kai were to charge his full movement speed with Toby hanging on to him, how difficult would that be to do?
Quite hard.
Okay, guys.
Because I was thinking I wanted to carry Toby into battle.
Jeez.
The trouble is, then you've left a squishy target middle of the team. Shit.
True, but we need the sneak attack DPS. So it's 1,500.
Nah, I'm probably not going to use that. I don't want to use a consumable on this.
Yeah, Blood Rage is a free action, which is my bonus to spells.
We can ban flying, by the way, to make things easier.
But that means banning my elemental body too, because it gives me a flying speed.
Never mind then.
But at the same time, do we really want them to be able to just fly away from my reach?
You can fly as well.
I can cast fly on myself, but it's annoying.
Why?
Having to deal with them while they're flying in the air, considering the way I'm built, is annoying.
You'll be fine.
Luckily, we have a very aerodynamic projectile.
And he's not talking about my bow.
I mean, basically, if you say banning flying and feeble mind, that means that all my 5th level spells are out.
Actually, allow flying. I'll take care of the flying targets, and Noah can as well.
Okay. That works.
Because hold person is a thing, and that sends them hitting the deck like a rock.
Oh god, yeah. I'm trying to find the rule for casting on myself when I rage.
It's free with the rage. I'm sure.
I'm trying to find in what section of the rule it is.
Also, don't forget dual encounters are a thing.
Oh, yes, they are.
God damn.
I don't know what that is.
I can't really remember too much about it either. I'll find a page for it or something.
Effectively, instead of having to just hold up a counter spell, you can just make a dueling act. You can effectively have a reaction to try and counter their spell.
Fuck yeah! Okay, that's really nice.
Also, how do I set up a macro for the effects of elemental body on my AC?
Scroll to the top of your sheet, Mia. You see under current buffs, set buffs. I've got Mage Armor already in there for you. You
Mm-hmm.
can buff and edit the effects of what Mage Armor gives you.
Alright, but I want to add
Elemental
elemental body.
Click the plus sign.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elemental body, when you can select buffs, things like defense, you can add to AC touch, whatever, and other such stuff.
Alright. Natural armor. I need to go from one tab to the other. Oh no, it's right under there. Okay. Okay.
Is everyone ready?
Minsley, can we get ourselves on a map?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have no idea. +3.
Have the rules that we have agreed to or we have put forward, are they agreeable, or are there any changes to be made?
They're fine by me.
Minton, have the NPCs changed the rules at all?
So since this is such a large, arena, basically the way it works for this one is, you say what rules you want to fight with, and then they say if they have an opponent for those rules.
Oh, okay.
Do they have an opponent with the rules that we suggested?
They do.
Okay, cool. Which means they can abide by all these rules as well. So if they've got companions.
And what are they, Minton? Or, well, what do they look like when we meet them?
I was gonna say, they say that there are a bunch of Scovens who want to fight in the arena.
I'm going to warn people now. Scovens are weirdly enough not to be underestimated in the arena.
I'm suddenly looking forward to this fight.
Scovens can fight, yo, and I didn't realize until last night.
Oh, I know they can fight. I just don't like them. I think they're prats. We're going to say, Minton, can we see ourselves on a map, please?
I am just trying to find tokens for y'all. If you...
I thought that, well, you should be able to just drag the picture from the character sheet for everyone except Toby. I'm going to pop out Kai's character sheet.
Sorry, I heard my name mentioned while I was glugging tea. What happened?
I said Kai, not Monkey.
You said something about Toby.
Toby
No.
doesn't have a token.
Yeah, it does.
have a token.
Oh, well, yeah, that kind of thing, yeah.
Damn it, my token looks really ugly.
Yeah. The arena organizers do say, though, that your opponents have specifically requested that you don't meet them before the fight.
Okay.
Where do I see my current AC?
Defensive.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm looking for everything on the same sheet, but you know. Okay. So with both the buffs of Mage Armor and Elemental Body 2, that puts my AC to 25.
Is this the arena we'll be fighting in?
Yep.
So we have a lake right in front of us.
Alright.
That's going to make charging for Ren Oakwood. Minton, what's the rules for moving through water like that?
depending on how deep it is, you can wade through, or you might have to swim for a bit.
How much move speed did I lose?
So quite a lot.
Do we get to position ourselves before fight, or do we have to stay, say, clumped in the center and they start centre top?
You have to stay basically in this centerish area, and they also have to stay in their centerish area.
To be clear, there's absolutely nothing to hide behind here, right?
No, this is all just.
It's like the duel arena in RuneScape.
Doesn't mean that we can't change the battlefield for us.
So, Minson,
Yep.
if I would cast Cheetah Sprint on myself, would I be able to just run through a shallow part of the water?
Potentially.
As long as I can get to about there, skirting the edge of the water with 70. Actually, no, I can charge them anyway.
Do note charge has to be in a straight line.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn. Because then on a single turn, if I started here, I can go to there. That's 15. There-ish. And then just charge straight on the next round, but that leaves me away from them for a long time. I'd rather be able to just go straight through the water here and into them.
It'll be fine.
It costs. If you're only moving through like the side, so what looks like it'd be shallow water, it's 10 feet instead of 5. If you're moving through deep water, it's 20 instead of 5.
So, Minton, could I assume that this is all shallow?
The center one. Actually, if you like try to leap across it,
Would I be able to leap and continue charging?
potentially, but you might also
If
just
I
fall.
pass the check.
Yeah, if you pass the check, otherwise you might just fall flat in the
What
water.
would the check be?
Acrobatics.
Ooh, I don't have an amazing acrobatics.
I believe the DC up to 20 feet is like 1 foot per 1 of the DC. So 20 feet long jump is DC 20.
I have a plus 10 to it.
And that's it.
Also, this is quite loose sand as the thing. It's not like coarse packed dirt.
So if I go too far in, I wouldn't be able to have the traction to leap.
Not really, though. You could still try.
So I'd have to leap from the edge.
Hmm.
Which is a...
You could probably leap from about here to here, though.
It's a bit straight line.
It would be pretty hard.
Can you give me an approximate DC?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Basically, guys, do we want Kai to just try and bum rush them, or do we want Kai and Joffrey to spend 2 rounds going around the side?
I'd say 2 rounds. 2
That
rounds is
does
safer.
leave you guys exposed.
We've got the distance, I think, for the time being. And we'll have buffed ourselves. We should be okay. By the way, Cerule is starting in the ground.
Approximately like 24, 25.
Oh, that's a high DC for me.
Take
My
your time
dex
with
is
it.
not amazing.
Take your time with it, honestly.
Okay.
Go around.
So we're
Yeah.
saying go round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are we doing this fight today or next week? Because we've got half hour to go.
Oh.
I'd probably say next week at this rate.
10-minute break and they'll have a fight half an hour later.
I think we're all good to go just about now. Does anybody not say about anything on the character sheet? Ray, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'll say I'll probably just introduce what you guys are fighting against and then probably call it there, which also gives you guys a whole week to brainstorm tactics.
I want to do the fight this week.
Yeah, but we've wasted so much time doing tactics.
I have to actually be up at a reasonable hour tomorrow, so alas are the days where I can stay up until 3 a.m.
See, that way we get to start the session with a fight.
True.
It's very, very true.
And I get to read my spells.
You all get to prepare.
So what are we up against?
I think me and Toby sitting there. We're prepared already.
As you guys walk out into the arena, you can see that your opponents aren't out there yet.
I don't trust this.
Though with some cheering and quite a lot more booing, you start to see them enter from the other side of the arena.
Oh boy.
You can see that they do all appear to be Skoven, to some extent at least. No, there are no shadows.
Damn.
And you can see that there are 3 large armored figures.
Oh boy.
All seem in quite intricate Skoven armor, carrying long swords and tower shields.
Are those muskets at the back?
And then behind them you can see what seem to be Skoven marksmen with Imperial muskets.
I need to cast Bullet Shield on myself.
And in the middle there seems to be a mage in bright shining silver armor. It's the large armored figures walk out into to the front of the arena and stand in front, and they plop down their tower shields in a line.
Scared.
Plonk. Plonk. I'm on the GM layer. Wrong layer. There we go. Plonk.
God.
In a line, blocking out most of their view from you.
Can there people behind still see us?
Providing the Cavaliers duck down or stand to the side, yes.
Well, what, even including with the towers? Towers can't crouch.
You can just plonk the towers down.
So basically we're going to want to rely on ready actions.
Pretty much.
Does anyone have knowledge local or knowledge nobility and wants to roll it?
I have knowledge local, but I feel like it
Yeah.
applies to a different continent, so I'm not sure. I'm really. I mean, I'll roll it if I'm allowed to, but I feel like it's.
sideways.
You can roll it. You might be able to knowledge local. You might be able to get something out of it. Oh,
I actually put quite a lot of skill points into it because I wanted to be knowledgeable about like the thieves and the kind of the seedy underbelly of most places in Fairvale.
I mean,
Am I
You're not-
allowed to perhaps put some time in, like between sessions, just say the time
retraining.
between...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Picking
just
up
say that
Picking
the
up
time
new runes
when
and stuff.
exactly when we're hanging around in the tavern between sessions, maybe you might read books about kind of or newspapers about other particularly thieving stuff around here. It would be nice to get make those skill points useful again because I sunk 11 into it. Oh no, sorry, I sunk 5 into it. So
Yeah, I'm chill with
cool.
that. And you're not really like entirely sure what these guys are planning, but
You know
you
what?
remember back when you were sieging castles, it was quite common to, duck behind the parapet, notch an arrow, pop up, shoot them, and then pop back down with a crossbow. So
It's about time I finally started using those inspiration die,
fair.
which didn't really help me much, but you know.
You tried. What was that? That's a 13.
Yeah.
The fuck is that random square?
Give me a second, I'm marking something.
Okay.
Minton, I've been sending you tokens for Kai, Joffiel, and Noah.
Yes, I will add them at some point.
I don't like this.
What was that 13 on ability?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd know something along the lines. You've heard rumors of a mercenary company, a Scovan one called the Iron Shields, which are notorious amongst the mercenary corps in Scova in that they've apparently never lost a siege when holding a position.
And we're agreeing to bow out when bloodied, right?
Yeah, bail out when bloodied. And looking at them, the dark greys and blacks of their armors and shields lead you to think that they fit the description of the Iron Shields.
Undefeated, eh?
Only looking at siege when holding a position.
I have that thing called Dimension Door.
I say none of these guys look particularly high ranked, but
Oh, no, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Do you want me to drop Joffiel and you behind their backline?
Don't you have to come with us?
Yes.
I mean, if you could drop Joffiel and I behind their backline, I don't think they're expecting that. I would be really tempted to delay my turn if you were going to do that until literally straight after you in the initiative order. Jump us to the back of the field. Our turn. Charge.
Gotta knock down those tower shields, otherwise I'm useless.
I mean, if we obliterate the backline, the tower shields aren't nearly so important. They either have to turn and fight us, or they can block you, not both.
Yeah, I just see us getting picked off before anything can happen.
And I'm going to obliterate that wizard. If no dimension doors Joffrey and us behind, I'm obliterating that wizard. Joffrey can handle the marksman. Honestly, Nia, I would
Yeah.
actually put us. Ideally, I want to be somewhere up over here.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to break formation to deal with. They don't just turn around. They actually have to break formation to deal with us.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a plan.
Because that lets Kai go here, get the charge off onto the wizard, shake him. Joffrey comes here into the flank. You're behind us. We're blocking them. In that way.
Yep.
And then hopefully at least one of the Iron Shields has to turn and engage. I mean, Minton, do they all look like they're humans?
It's quite far away and you're not entirely sure. They all seem humanoid.
Give me 1 second. And does Gothon want... Gothon, are you looking to see if you get your favourite enemy?
Yeah.
I mean, they all seem to be covering their faces. They have, they're not called bandanas, like shamags, goggles, helmets, and then the actual armored people are literally head to toe in armor.
Would we know that you were doing that,
Me?
Umbra?
Yeah, I've made it very clear that I can do that beforehand. That was one of our tactics, that I can do that. And you guys will know that you can see through it.
So, and is
Because
Gothon got a perception against these guys?
Yeah, when it starts, so I can do it now.
Minton, can Gothon make a perception now? Or...
Yeah.
Ugh, that's bad.
Only
Again,
a 37 against humans.
It's quite far away and they seem to actively be trying to cover themselves up, so you're not entirely sure.
Minton,
Yeah?
if any of them are human, that's a 41.
Still got distance on it though.
Urban and favoured enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're thinking no takes Kai and Joffrey behind enemy lines. How many people can you do it to?
I am not entirely sure. I'm
I
gonna
thought
ping the
Dimension
spells
Door was
because
just
it's really hard to read from that. If it target you and touched objects or other touched willing creatures.
One additional willing medium or smaller creature, equivalent per 3 caster levels, so you can bring 3 of us. Toby. Toby's coming with us.
Am I? Okay, I'm not sure I'm the most useful person.
Well, we need you in range to get your sneak attack.
Okay.
We want to try and DPS down their background as quick as possible. If us 3 will get behind enemy lines,
Okay.
along with Noah, we can then charge into their backline and hope that shields have to break formation, which lets Gorthon peg them in the back.
And at what level are you casting this?
It's
It's per
levels of-
caster level, it's my caster level, it's not the level
Which
of
is
the
11.
spell.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's not 5e.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Technically my caster level counts as 12 because of my thing.
this is not a bloodline spell. This is an electric spell.
Alright.
I think.
I'm not entirely sure. Let me reread.
So we're thinking our tactics. So we buff up in the first round. No dimension doors us. Dimension doors myself, Joffrey or Toby. leaving Sarul, Sarab, and Gorthon behind, and we're going to try and cause as much disruption in the backline as possible.
On my turn, I'll smoke screen them.
On my first turn, I'll probably have to dash up here somewhere to try and get a line in for a shot somewhere.
And Sorul will make a beeline under and through the water because she doesn't need to breathe to their back line, but she can't attack. She can only make it that far. She has to dash.
Okay. Can you dash?
Plus,
Yeah, use your action as movement.
Okay.
if they have a companion as well that we can't currently see.
They don't look like it, but the wizard might be able to summon.
Mm-hmm.
Once, depending on the situation then, if it looks like they're going to continue going for the squishies, I'm sorry, but I've got to be selfish. I got to blink on my third turn if they start turning towards us.
No problem. Benjamin, you want to throw initiative now or next week?
Let's go with next week.
God damn it.
Well, I wanted to do now. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But
That also
it's
helps
the
our plan.
suspense.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the suspense.
Because
We
when
still get a 1 turn where we get to buff ourselves, right?
Yes. Which is going to be my blood rage is a free action, and I can apply bears to myself with that. So I'm probably going to spend the buff round casting balls on myself, unless anyone disagrees.
I'm alright with that.
As much as I really, really want bullet shield to deal with the muskets, like holy shit, I want bullet shield to deal with the muskets. Ooh. I've just realised, if I stand there,
Oh, I can actually get a shot off on my first turn. Possibly.
if I stand there, I threaten the entire back line.
If you stand where?
Right there.
There.
Glaive, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Minton, would that give us flanking or not?
not as far
Okay,
as...
well, okay, so if Joffrey was there and Toby was there, flanking.
What?
If these two squares are occupied by Joffrey and Toby,
Mm-hmm.
is that flanking? If Kai's there,
No.
is that flanking?
Yes.
That one is, I think.
That one's definitely flanking.
Yes.
That's flanking.
If you can threaten them, but there's 2 in the way.
Kai's threat. Oh yeah, true. So that's flanking. That would not be.
No, that would be. Because if you're going 10 feet to there, they're in your threat range.
I'm talking about Joy and Toby,
Oh, yeah, those 2, yeah.
because I want to threaten all 3 from where I'm stood there.
If you're standing there threatening, would I get sneak attack there? Then? As you are?
I think range is only
Onto
for
the back
30
line.
feet.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
No, never mind. It is. You're right.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Also, one thing to note is with the reach, you can't reach diagonally.
They arrived it. Yes, you can.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, do you mean like there, diagonally?
Because it makes no sense that that's 10 foot. That's 10 foot, but apparently not threatened. Well, because it would be stupid because other people just approach them a diagonal.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought that's what you meant. So the corners.
Check
there you go.
Check the reach graph.
Yeah, because, yeah, the corners, like in that way, technically classifies as 15. That's
However,
fine. That's
if you
fine.
move through that diagonal, I do still get a opportunity attack.
Yep.
Ideally, what I want is actually Joffrey here, Toby there, because then I can bodyguard. It doesn't really matter, but I prefer to be able to bodyguard Joffrey or than bodyguard Toby.
Also, I'm just going to switch back to 4th edition diagonals because they're so much easier to work with.
Yeah. Like
Because
5.5.
because 3.5 and technically Pathfinder, 2 diagonals is a 15 feet instead of 10. And I don't do combat and don't do combat enough to be bothered to remember that apparently 5 plus 5 is 15.
But anyway, I want to be stood there, which lets me threaten their entire backline.
Yes,
Okay.
but you wouldn't be flanking that one.
Which is why we take Joffiel and Toby with us.
Yes.
Whatever happens, ideally, I want us all to have an initiative fairly close. Hopefully, we all roll high, and then we all just delay to exactly 0.01 after each other after no.
Yeah, because delaying, thankfully, you delay your entire turn on this one. That is your action.
Yeah, so we dimension door, and then pretty much immediately our turns kick in. I want to get my charge bonus onto the wizard and shake the bastard.
You've got to move at least 10 feet for the charge.
Which is why I said that I want us to be dimension doored up here, rather than
yeah.
right behind them.
Okay.
Which also means they have to turn in break formation to face our sorceress, and I'm just going to charge to there. And
Oh, and if things look back, I'm gonna dimension door myself out.
I don't blame you in the slightest.
Especially since that means I get to cast either Mage Armor or Elemental Body, but not both on the first turn.
I'd recommend Mage.
Actually, I think they give me the same bonus to my AC.
You're going to want Elemental Body over Mage Armor.
Yeah.
Because it's a natural armor bonus, which is not ignored by firearms.
Yeah, and whenever I get the time, I'll cast Mage Armor on myself, but I'll go with Elemental Body on.
Well, if I
on
put
the
Bullet
first.
Shield on myself, I get a +6 against bullets.
What area are we allowed to start in?
I think he said, like, this sort of zone here, didn't he?
Because ideally I want to be at this most corner. Sweet.
Okay. And ideally, we're going to want our melee fighters stood right next to where Noah is.
I need to be next to Gorthon.
Ideally, we want this formation to be teleported up to behind their backline.
There's no real point in moving Sorrel to anywhere aside from where she's at.
Okay. So that's where they've deployed Minton. God damn it, you're being a bastard.
To say plans changed, he's moved.
I see that bullshit
I
that you're
see.
pulling there.
Well, they walked in.
Yeah, but you had them set up in front. You had them set up in
Yeah,
front
but
of
you've also got to point out we had us set up how we were and we've changed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
true.
only fair they get to change as well.
It was literally they walked in and just put their shields down. They didn't actually set up. They merely made their presence known. Then you guys went and started getting set up. So now they might still set up more. That's all or something for next week.
Okay.
On They Came From Above.
Yeah. Ideally, I want to be able to get behind them. Worst comes to worst, I'm still going to butcher their fucking wizard.
I pretty much have to get behind them in order to be effective here. So
Can we presume we are already under the effects of message?
Hmm.
Is that okay to assume?
Yeah, you're all under the effects of message.
Okay, so even though you're away, actually let me just check the range of message.
You know what? I'm not so worried about balls immediately. I'm probably going to use my rage action to cast Bullet Shield on myself. And cast Bears in the first round because I want that sweet HP buff. I'm not so worried about balls. Plus 2 to hit at the end of the world. Ray, what spells is Joffiel going to cast in the first round? Ray?
Ray?
Ray's kill. Rip. I think
Okay, yeah.
taking a righteous vigor onto herself or Kai is probably the best idea.
No matter where we are in this arena, we are in message range.
And, okay, target priority, we want to delete their backline as quickly as possible. Their shield wall is only strong while it holds. The second they have to break the shield wall to deal with us, we have them. Anyone disagree with with the tactics that we've agreed on? Anyone want to change any?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm actually quite excited for this. Minton, how big is the crowd?
This is a non-fight to the death, right? Just confirming. This is
Bow
not a
out
fight.
when blooded. You drop below 50%, you bow out.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not planning on losing my character in a sporting bout.
Minton, how big is the crowd watching this fight?
It's getting close to the behemoth fights. The arena's maybe Rip Umbra. A third full.
There's still a decent sized crowd to watch this battle.
It's a decent couple thousand.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this next week. I hope to God, Mia, that at least you and I roll high on initiative.
I have a decent initiative.
So do I, but it's whether we can roll it well or not. I'm excited for this.
It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it as well.
I thank you all for turning up. Same as always. If you have any criticism, advice, suggestions, feel free to lob them in my general direction.
I'll make sure I lob all sorts of things in your general direction.
Bye.
Alright. Good night, guys. I'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night, man.
Bye.